Thanks for tuning into our station, the Africa Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. On this program and on this channel, every week we give you that information you need to keep your life safe and secure. Welcome to the program. Today, the week has actually been a very upbeat week in the security sector. A lot of activities, but first, I must commend officers and policemen and women of the Nigerian police. The week has actually been very active, most possibly because of the injection of a new sheriff, the new sheriff in town, the new IGP, IGP Gbetoku. A lot of raiding of criminal hideouts have been taking place, and criminals have been taken off our streets. We just pray that the judiciary will cooperate and ensure that these people do not get back to the society again. So kudos to Nigeria Police Force. We pray it will be sustained. We pray it will continue in this way. Yes, by this time last week, the former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, retired, was being pulled out from the service after serving his nation. And Security Watch Africa, Shuli Daniels, was there, and she brings us this report.
On 27th May 2021, the then Major General Farouk Yahya was appointed the 22nd Chief of Army Staff, Nigerian Army, by President Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria's former president. Upon his appointment, he was promoted to the enviable rank of Lieutenant General. After 2 years and few weeks in office, he was pulled out of the Nigerian Army on 24th of June 2023, following the appointment of the new Chief of Army Staff. Born on 5th January 1966 at Sifawa in Boniga local government of Sokoto State, he started his military life when he got his admission into the prestigious Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, from 1985 to 1990, where he graduated with Bachelor of Arts degree in History. This historian, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, retired, had several appointments in the Nigerian Army, which includes Military Administrator, Government House Kano, Commander Gas Brigade, Garrison, Directing Staff at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, General Officer commanding one division of the Nigerian Army, Kaduna, Theater Commander, Operation Lafia Dole, later renamed Northeast Operation Hadinkai, just to mention a few, before his appointment as the Chief of Army Staff, Nigerian Army. During his tenure as the Chief of Army Staff, General Yahya renovated, initiated, constructed, and commissioned several infrastructural projects across the state and handed many Hilux vehicles to regimental sergeant majors, ROSMs, established some brigades, and improved on the civil-military cooperation projects across Nigeria. As customary to military tradition, with the recent appointment of a new Chief of Army Staff, Major General Taoreed Lagbaja, General Yahya graciously retired and was ceremoniously pulled out from the service of the Nigerian Army. In his valedictory speech, General Yahya spoke on his time in the Nigerian Army and thanked officers and soldiers for their support and cooperation while in service.
I initiated some modest transformation efforts, which included changes to structure, doctrine, welfare, and logistic support, among others. These challenges were aimed at repositioning the Nigerian Army to hastily accomplish assigned missions within a joint environment in defense of Nigeria. We made significant effort to touch and improve every aspect of the Nigerian Army. In terms of infrastructural development, we have touched every barrack in the Nigerian Army in terms of new construction of structures, facilities, rehabilitation of others, and maintenance. Our success have largely been as a result of the doggedness and dedication of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army to duty. Like I always say, with the caliber of officers and soldiers I have superintended over this couple of years with them, there is no insurmountable.
He urged them to extend same support and cooperation to the new Chief of Army Staff and to remain resolute in their service to the nation.
I commend all your efforts for this remarkable achievement, and I charge you, officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, not to relent or drop your guard, but rather to redouble your effort to support the Chief of Army Staff to achieve even greater heights. You should remain focused in discharge of your constitutional rules of securing every region of the country. I urge you not to be distracted or deterred by cynical comments of unpatriotic and disgruntled elements, but to be resolute and discharge your duty decisively with every sense of pride and patriotism. I therefore urge all officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army to remain dogged and give maximum cooperation to the Chief of Army Staff, Major General T.A. Lagbaja.
Just as the saying goes, whatever has a beginning must surely have an end. There is no doubt that while in service, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya was true to his vision, which is a professional Nigerian army ready to accomplish assigned missions within a joint environment. Shirley Daniels reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. I will say congratulations to General Farouk Yahaya for contributing his quota to keeping Nigeria safe and indivisible. Congratulations, and we wish you a well-deserved rest after serving for so many years in the country. Yes, still with the Nigerian Army and still with Shirley Daniels. She was at the Army headquarters when the Army headquarters gave a briefing on the preparation for the 2023 Nigeria Army Day celebration on NACEL. And the NACEL is every year meant to celebrate the Nigerian Army and its achievement. Sit back as we bring you this report.
The Nigerian Army has lined up activities for the commemoration of his 160 years anniversary since its establishment. Every 1st to 6th July has been set aside for the celebration of the Nigerian Army Day, otherwise known as NACEL. The program for the 2023 edition was the focus of a media briefing recently held at Headquarters Nigerian Army in Abuja. The Chief of Special Services and Programs Army, Major General Emeka Onumajuru, who represented the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Taoreed Lagbaja, spoke on the origin and significance of NACEL.
The Nigerian Army is an enviable national institution saddled with the constitutional mandate of defending Nigeria's territorial integrity and has evolved for over 160 years. The rich history of the service dates back to 1863, when Lieutenant Glover of the Royal Navy formed a local force known as the Glover Hausas. This local force eventually became part of a larger body established by Lord Frederick Lugard in 1889 as the West African Frontier Force. Since then, the force underwent several transformations with consequent changes in nomenclature. The Nigerian Regiment, Queen's Own Nigerian Regiment, and Nigerian Military Force, before its current name, the Nigerian Army. Nigerian Army Day celebration is held annually on 6 July to commemorate the day the Nigerian Civil War broke out. It also marks the day the very shot of the war was fired at Gakem in present-day Cross River State. The date is set aside by the Nigerian Army to remind us about our past and the need to address our problems peacefully rather than resorting to arms. It also reminds us of the slogan, no victor, no vanquish. The slogan emphasized our unity in diversity, the love we share in diversity, and brotherhood in diversity.
He also spoke on the theme and the program lined up for the 2023 edition.
The theme of this year's celebration is Sound Administration as Panacea for Effective Military Operation. This year's celebration is scheduled to hold from the 1st to 6th July 2023 to celebrate Nigerian Army achievements. It will also showcase the Army's professional activities as well as its transformational strides in innovation, research and development, civil-military relations, and technological advancements.
Every year, the Nigerian Army Day celebration offers the opportunity for stock-taking, projection for improved performance in the discharge of its constitutional roles. Shirley Daniels, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. The city of Ibadan, the capital of your state, will be the host city for this 2023 NASEL. So it's a period to look at how the Nigerian Army has fared so far and project for a better service to Nigeria in future. Yes, that brings us to the interview which we are bringing to you. Security Watch Africa desire to provide a solution to some of the security challenges the country Nigeria is facing, and looking at the Southeast particularly, where some elements have held the zone to this jugular, threatening the lives and businesses and the economy of the people. But a particular state has remained somehow safer than how the rest states have been. That is talking about Abia State. During the period when the governor, Okezie Ekpazu, was in charge, he was able to work out a strategy that made sure that the state never experienced the IPOP and ESN destruction that is going up in other parts of the Southeast. We decided to interview him to find out how did he do it, what lessons can be learned to ensure that other states in the Southeast and in general Nigeria remain safe. Sit back as we bring you this interview. First of all, I have to say congratulations.
Thank you
for having served Abia State and Nigeria for 8 years, even though before then he has served in a lesser capacity, but as a chief executive of the state, the Abia State, God's own state. 8 years, it's not just a one day, it's a long time.
Thank God.
With enormous challenges that you had to face. But looking back, Your Excellency, reflecting from the day one till the day you handed over, would you say you are satisfied with the level of what you have done there?
Let me start by thanking God for giving me the opportunity to even step up to the plate to serve. And then thank Abians for trusting me with their faith for 8 years. Back to the job. The job was what I would like to describe in one sentence, a pressure cooker job. You know, I started on the streets from my first day. I went to the streets to do the triplet of roads because there was a real sense of urgency at that time, and we had no time for the things. So I started on a triplet of roads called Ukebu, Omola, and the Here Road. I flagged off those roads because they were the major entry into Aba from Akwa Ibom, and I was looking at trade and commerce and looking at how to bring Akwa Ibom people into Aba. At that time, Akwa Ibom people could not come. Rivers people could not come. So I could feel the pain of every trader in Aba. So I needed to just do something about the Akwa Ibom axis. And again, 8 years down the line, 96 months, on my last day, the last 2 days, I commissioned 9 projects. In fact, the eve of 28, I was in area commissioning our prototype airline. By 8 p.m., I also commissioned Fox Road and renamed it Sambakwe Road that same day. So it was walk, 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 walk. And in between, we had all the ups and downs. I faced Operation Python dance. We've never had anything like that before. Then the era of ungunned men or known gunmen, plus the traditional issues and criminal activity, and then moving Abia into a place where we have become rightfully the SFB capital of Nigeria. It's been a long, tortuous journey, and I must say that I'm tired.
Because throughout this journey, we will have interactions with you, so we can't say we are not aware of the challenges.
Yes.
But it seems to be contrary to the information some Nigerians will be peddling around. It's as if you just slip all through the 8 years in the state. Why do you think it's so?
Well, I wasn't very fair to myself in terms of propaganda and maybe media hype, because I did not feel that was a very, very good way to spend all the resources. I understand some governors who will do 150 million naira projects and spend about 100 on media. Perhaps that is what Nigerians would love. But I'm a man of very strong convictions. And I also thought that actions speaks louder than voice. I still think they do, but maybe not immediately. So we could not respond to the barrage of propaganda, as it were. But down the line, 250 roads, 750 classroom blocks, 4 model schools, an ultra-modern multi-specialist hospital, the brand new government house, which we never had before, the first flyover ever, reducing infant and maternal mortality by 71% according to World Bank, increasing antenatal attendance of women by 35%. These are great projects. The interventions in geometrics, the interventions in Enyimba Economic City, which is perhaps the biggest and most audacious project in Africa now, and bequeathing 2 industries, a shoe factory and a garment factory. I checked all the boxes. I have over 170 young Abians overseas studying. It has never been done before. So I think that regardless of the noise, we were able to do things that are profound and that touch the lives of our people.
Yeah. And maybe I should maybe ask, you think posterity will be kind to you?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
When you were getting all these not too pleasant commentaries and reviews in spite of what you are doing to change the state, were you at any point discouraged or feel disappointed?
Not exactly. I was telling somebody, if I want to be sarcastic, I would just say, if you see a man who took a PhD before 29, then know that man, especially in biochemistry, that man must be very difficult to distract. It's almost impossible to distract me. Once I'm focused on something and I lock in on that thing, I get to do the job. Again, I understand why some of the noise. One was to demarcate the state, demarcate me, distract me, make sure I don't get anything done. But my remit and my job is to make sure that I will say, despite odds, I got things done. And I must admit that I did not do everything. Nobody will be able to do everything. But whether I responded to all my promises, most of my promises, the answer will be yes. Whether whether I checked most of the boxes in terms of governance, the answer will also be yes. Again, did he do everything? The answer will be no. So at some point I asked God, I said, why is it that these people don't seem to see beyond the veil of propaganda and lies? But the response that came was, well, my grace will be sufficient.
Yeah. Because I know that at every point you go back to God to lead you. But there are three issues before we go into security proper. There are three areas where the noise was so loud. And for me, as somebody who knows you, I was always praying that I hope this will not distract you. One, that you were giving pregnant women 500 naira, and one that you were distributing kerosene, and the other one that you said what you did in the state was attract Mr. Biggs.
Wow, no. Okay, let me start with the pregnant women. There were 6 states at a time that keyed in Nigeria, that keyed into the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. Okay, and that was a federal government initiative. The idea was you pay some counterpart funding, and then your state, my state was chosen as the flagship state in the southeast. So the program was to equip primary health care centers and do everything to enhance enrollment into those primary health care centers for antenatal care for our mothers and pregnant women. And at that time, women were predominantly prone to patronizing traditional birth attendants and other places apart from. And I had a vision to improve on life expectancy in Abia. And these pregnant women were part of my vulnerable groups that I needed to, the aged and the pregnant women, that I needed to capture and oversee personally. So that Basic Healthcare Provision Fund program became a blessing. So the idea is to create a management team at the community level where the primary healthcare centers are. Meanwhile, we have over 750 primary healthcare centers, almost 1 per ward. And so if these pregnant women attend those primary health care centers, every visit, the antenatal care is free. Remember, the idea is to draw their attention back to primary health care centers. So we need to create incentives. So every visit is free, antenatal. Then the day you deliver, it is also free. And apart from being free, you'll be given a free backpack. And apart from that free backpack, all the follow-up visits, the postnatal visits, which is also key, because you have to begin to do vaccination for the newborn baby, and also look at the mother and how she's recovering. So all those visits, pre-delivery, delivery and post-delivery, plus the backpack were free. And on each day you visit, your transportation fare will be borne by the primary health care center, and that is 500 naira each visit. So if you visit 10 times, so what it means is that some people will even visit 20 times if they are required to visit only 10, because they are looking for incentives. That was how we were able to reverse enrollment from traditional birth attendant back to primary health care centers. I got 71%. And then increased attendance by 31%. So infant and maternal mortality reduced by 71%, but enrollment increased by 35%. So, unfortunately, what the media had, or what they decided to propagate, in line with the agenda to make sure that nothing good comes out of us, was the 500 naira, which I think is unfortunate, because the idea for me was, hey, infant and maternal mortality reduced by 71%. How did this guy do it? I thought people would have been interested in the mechanics. What steps did we take? And that is why I get thoroughly miffed by Nigerians and their approach to things. If we see somebody that is doing well in class, when we were in school, the thing to do is to look at his study pattern. How does he study? How does he manage his time? And then you go close and befriend him and know, the logic in responding to questions if he is asked in exam, so that you can at least improve on your own, So that was what it was. It was 500 every visit, and there are other things. This 500 naira wasn't supposed to be the main thing. The main thing is that a woman is attending antenatal free, and many people in Nigeria, unfortunately, when they made a joke out of it, we lost the substance. Because everybody should be part of the advocacy to encourage our women to attend primary health care centers when they are pregnant. Because in some places that have good life expectancy, like Cuba, you see, preventive health care has become the thing. They will make sure that everybody is captured. In fact, they have family doctors, not primary health care, not community doctors now. They have so much doctors that doctors visit families. You are attached to the number of families that you go to see from time to time, not when they come to hospital. So that was that. Then about kerosene, there was nothing like that except for once when we had a shortage of kerosene, and a friend of mine gave me a truck. So I don't use kerosene for my cars.
Welcome back. Unfortunately, for time, we won't be able to continue with that interaction. But he spoke so many things that relates with leadership, governance, and most importantly, security. Time today, we won't be able to take the security aspect of it. But you heard him there about the issue of 500 naira, and at least he cleared the situation. But we must leave other programs to continue, because on television, time is of essence. If you have enjoyed watching us this week, join us again next week when we'll bring another exciting edition of this program. Until next week, I say bye for now and remain blessed.